Bonjour les étudiants and welcome to this video on for la semaine 21. So as you can see, yes, I'm actually letting you see me today because of course I wanted to make sure to show you little Gemma because she's here to help me while I'm recording this video. So here she is right down here. Say hi, Gemma. As you can see, she currently has hiccups, which is really funny, and she's a little restless. So if you hear a lot of movement and stuff, then that's why. Here, one closer look. Say hi, Gemma. Hi. Say hi to the étudiants. Now, first up, we have a quick review of la place des pronoms personnels. And as you can see, we have our caterpillar friend who's going to help us out again. But I'm going to give you a new example aujourd'hui. So, we have ici, je lave le bébé. I wash the baby. This is something that I have to do every few days because otherwise it dries out her poor skin, and yeah, you're not supposed to do that. So, in this example, we have je lave le bébé. So, remembering everything that we've learned, le bébé, what are we going to make it be? What's the pronoun that we're going to use? All right, if you said le, you're correct because this is a pronoun object direct, which means it's a direct object. There's nothing between le verbe et le mot, the word. So since there's nothing in between, we're just going to do le. Now, since it's the only one here right now, it becomes je le lave. Even though she's a girl, I know, le is still going to be the right one. So, je le lave. I wash the baby. I wash him? I don't know. Her, however you want to say it. Now, if I were to replace le bébé with her name, Gemma, oh, that looks bad. Gemma, because it's a feminine name, instead becomes la. So instead of je le lave, it'd be je la lave. Now, say that I wanted to add something a little bit more specific about that I wash her in a specific place. So usually on the counter in the bathroom right now, since she's so tiny. And to denote a place, which pronoun do we use? Do you remember? If you guessed E, you're correct. So if I wanted to add it into this sentence, je la lave or je le lave, let's change it to la because, you know, she's a girl. Je la lave, where do I put it in relationship to la, between the je, our sujet, and lave, le verbe? All right, so if you said after la, you are correct. And of course, we remember that because la and le are ici, and e is at the very end here. So it's always going to be the last thing right next to the verb, unless there's an all there. If all's there, then it's the very, very last. Toujours. So you guys see how that works? You guys remember? Awesome. If you need more help with this, go back to our previous videos and you can watch all of that come together. Now, another thing that we need to review is le d'adverbe. You guys actually did a practice with that this week, so if I remember correctly. So you should be fairly familiar at this point, but remember, en général, you're going to add mon to basically any adjective. Now, quick reminder, adverbs add to verbs, so they tell you how something is being done. Adjectives add to nouns, so they tell you what it looks like or what it's like in some other way. So, mon is a lot like li en anglais. So, for the most part, you just add mon to pretty much anything, and all of a sudden it becomes an adverb. The same is true with the masculine things. If it ends with a vowel, you just add mon to it, et voilà. So, absolument, poliment, rapidement, vraiment, all those wonderful things. The only time that it gets a little tricky is when you have ENT or ANT at the end, because différemment is like way too difficult to say. So instead they make it différemment. I didn't even say this one right. I said it the way that you're supposed to say it. Différentement. It's like, it's too hard to say. So they just changed this. Nothing to stress out about, but something that I want to make sure that you know. So instead of sorry, EMT, yeah, or yeah, MENT, I'm sorry. Instead of MENT on the end of any of these, you make it EMMENT or AMMENT. Again, it's something that we've talked about before. So if you need a review, you can go back to those videos as well, or email me with any questions that you have. All right, now, since we've talked a little bit about routines and all of those things, it's very important to understand le corps humain. So this is the different parts of your body. Yay! So this way you can actually talk about how you brosse les dents, you brush your teeth instead of brushing your hair, because of course it makes a really big difference when you're talking to people. As you can see, this has a ton of different parts of the body, which is really cool. Everything from just general stuff with les cheveux, ici, which is your hair, les têtes, your head, l'oeil, your eyes, le nez, your nose, la bouche is your mouth. That's why when you tell somebody to be quiet, the mean way to say it is ferme la bouche, close your mouth. L'oeil, which is your ear, le cou, your neck, les mains, your hand, les doigts, your fingers, l'estomac, yeah, stomach, pretty cool, huh? Le bras is your arm, le genou is your knee, les jambes is your whole leg, le pied is your feet. So yeah, all kinds of parts of the body to learn. Obviously, you can learn as much or as minimal as you want to go, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's also a video on the ELC that'll show you all of them and how to pronounce them. That way you're nice and comfortable with all of the different things. But yeah, like I said, it makes talking about routines a lot easier. And that brings us back to le verbe promener. So we've talked about this a couple of times already. And so yes, we're going to talk about it one more time. But instead of looking at this slide, well, okay, let's take a look at the conjugations real quick just to make sure that we're on the same page. So remember, you're always going to conjugate it the same way that you have been. So if it's an ER verb, you just conjugate it like an ER verb. So je repose, tu reposes, il repose, nous reposons, vous reposez, il repose. The thing that's different about these is that you have this in the middle. This is going to match this. So it's je me repose. I rest. Like I do it to myself. It's not like somebody grabs me and forces me to lay down and rest. So tu te reposes. Il se repose or elle se repose. Nous nous repose. On, yeah, I know, it's the same. C'est la vie. Vous vous reposez or il se repose, elle se repose. Yes, these sound exactly identical to this one, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the way it's supposed to be. So again, if you need a review of this, we do have more about it in other videos as well, but that should be a pretty good reminder of how that all goes. Now, if we're using it, let's talk about using it when it comes to actually including some parts of the body. And these first two examples have that. So, nous nous brossons les dents. We brush our teeth. Notice because we have this nous here, it tells us who's doing it, like who it's being done to. So we brush our own teeth. You'll also notice that we have le dent. It's not nous nous brossons notre dent, because that would be a little much. We brush our teeth ourselves, you know. So they use le in these cases. So whenever you're talking about a part of the body, and you're doing it with les verbes pronominaux, you're going to use le, la, les, those things, instead of mais or votre or notre or anything like that. Now, if I were to say that I was brushing Gemma's teeth or Monty's teeth, which fortunately Gemma doesn't have teeth yet, it would be a little bit different because I would say je brosse les dents de Gemma or je brosse les dents de Monty, both of which would be kind of a dangerous, well, especially with Monty, it'd be a dangerous thing to do. So our other example that has body parts in it is les enfants se lavent les mains. Now, first off, to clarify, les enfants, even though it sounds like infant en anglais, it actually isn't. It specifically means children. If you want to talk about an infant, you have to use the word bébé, which we used in our first slide. So, the children wash their hands. Obviously, we hope that this is the case. So notice les mains, les, so the hands, and they wash their own, c'est, ici. So les enfants se lavent les mains. They wash their own hands. See how that works? Not too bad, right? So, yeah, that's how that all goes. All right. We have our idioms again. If you want to review them, they are on the PowerPoint for this week that I've uploaded as just a static PowerPoint. So you can take a look at those again. We also talked about them in another video, so you can take a look at them there. And of course, remember that you can use les verbes pronominaux similarly to show that you're doing something with someone else. So these are a couple of new examples. So in the spirit of Valentine's week, you know, imagine your family or, you know, somebody like that. Ils s'aiment. They love each other. So notice we have the SE thing here, but of course we take off the E because we have a vowel ici. So ils s'aiment. You can also say we love each other, and in that case, you guys know what we're going to use, right? That's right. Nous aimons. We love each other. Uh-oh, there goes the pacifier. If you hear screaming, I apologize in advance. Let's see. So, another example, nous allons téléphoner demain. We'll call each other tomorrow. So, nous, we call each other. It doesn't specify who's going to call who. It's totally going to happen. Now this one always makes me think of Monty et Monsieur Purple. Ils ne se quittent jamais. They're inseparable. They never leave each other. Yes, quitter means basically to leave each other, like to quit something. So, ils ne se quittent jamais. And that's totally the case nowadays because whenever I wake up in the middle of the night with Gemma, usually Monty brings Mr. Purple wherever the two of us are. It's really funny. Okay, anyways, last one. Vous vous disputez souvent? Do you argue often? So arguing with each other. Vous vous disputez souvent? So there you go. Now, like I've told you before, these verbs don't usually or sometimes never come with an object pronoun. So they're not the ones that are on our list that are usually les verbes pronominaux. But you can do this kind of thing with pretty much any verb, which is really, really cool. So that is basically everything that you need to know this week. Obviously, if you have questions, I am around via email, so let me know. And I miss you all, or as they say en français, vous me marquez. And I can't wait to see you guys. Have a wonderful week. Au revoir.